Hi folks, hello and welcome back to another issue of the Mortal Realms magazine. So, this week we have issue number 18. Okay, so I'll cut straight to the chase, guys. Anybody who saw last week's episode will know that we have no minis this week. You know how much I love unboxing and building minis, don't you? Anyway, however, we have two paints. Okay, Dryad Dark and Lead Belcher, which are both base paints, and we have a brand new game mat. Okay, I'll fold this one out for you just to show you what it looks like, and already it looks like a double-sided one. Okay, so I'm going to do my very best to put this over here, guys. Here's side one. Okay, and then showing the second side. So already we see two very interesting backgrounds to play on, which will be really good for future battle reports and stuff like that, or even little mini games, to be honest, because the normal size table's like 6x4 for these things, 6 foot by 4 foot. So that's smaller, but the advantage of smaller games is you can get straight in. Your weapons and the range are much shorter, so you can start your shooting phase straight away. You can get your big units into combat. You can get onto your objectives. It's basically a quicker way of playing, you know what I mean? Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go up top. We'll have a look at this week's issue. There won't be a showcase, but yeah, let's just go for it, guys. Let's have a look what we've got and see what's going on. So, folks, issue number 18. So, start with our usual $7.99 Warhammer Age of Sigmar Mortal Realms. There's our cover art on the front, battle games in the Age of Sigmar, and we go with our 3 bullet points, which is Anvils of the Helden Hammer, paint with Dryad Dark and Lead Belcher, new battle mat, the Realm of Life. So, opening up, and we go straight onto our index in this issue. So we have the Anvils of the Helden Hammer. Read about the black armoured Anvils of the Helden Hammer, an entire storm host created from the souls of long dead heroes. Cities of Sigmar. The dawn of the Age of Sigmar has given rise to many wondrous cities, each of which has its own powerful army of mortal warriors. Nighthorns Part 2. Second part of the introduction to the Nighthorns. Forces of Destruction. Forces of Destruction rampage across the mortal realms, leaving a path of carnage behind them. Then our battle report is the Battle of Verdia, starring the Anvils of the Helden Hammer and fighting Nurgle and the Maggotkin in the forests, hence the fact we've got the double-sided playmat. How to paint the Sigmarite Mausoleum. There we go, that's what our paints are for. And then in the Domain of Death, a guide to the last phase to be introduced in your games, the Battle Shock phase, where units must test their bravery or flee the battlefield. Okay, so we finally come round to the interesting bit now. We've got all the different phases. We've got the morale phase now, essentially. So what you do is you'll go along and you'll lose models during the combat or the shooting phase. At the end, you basically do a test, and if you fail, you know you lose that many models until the unit goes and the model retreats. Okay, so hopefully our games now are going to be virtually up to full speed, which is good. Okay, then we move on to Storm Hosts, the Anvils of the Helden Hammer. Okay, says they're dark and brooding heroes from a much older era. They have come to embrace the death they once feared. Okay, so we've got a little bit of bump about the Anvils, and then we have their Chambers of Renown, specialities, famed Stormkeeps, and their great heroes. This carries on the other side of the page. Souls of Ancient Heroes, Nagash's Enmity, in there again with all our symbology, and then we have a look at the heraldry with all the different paint jobs that we can do, and the Sacrosanct Chambers. Okay, now this is a new section, Cities. C Cities, section 1, for those who are following along in the binders. The Cities of Sigmar. Cities of Sigmar are the greatest example of civilization and hope in the mortal realms. Now, that's going to be a really, really interesting section. So we see here, we start off the bump about the cities, and then it continues by telling us a little bit more. Hallowheart, a realm at war. Some more fancy artwork there. Is it just me, or does anybody else get that real Nazgul Fellbeast feeling. Then we go on to the Nighthaunt Part 2, following on from last week's section. There's no relief, only endless death. And we get our bump there, our lovely Nighthaunt artwork. Then we go on Thorny Briar, I'm presuming that's about the Briar Queen. We get some of our models there, a little bit of a showcase. A hatred for the living. Says there are many types of Nighthaunt spirit, but all have one thing in common, a hatred of the living. Quite apt, as soon as we've just had Halloween week. And then we go on to the forces of destruction. Rampaging hordes of destruction plunge headlong into battle at the slightest provocation. They are driven only by the primal need for violence and a desire to crush, stamp, and tear down the works of the civilised races. Okay, Gorka Morka. That's a nice little reference there into any of you older 40k players. Okay. Yeah, it is. It's the orcs. I thought so, obviously, with the Gorka Morka reference. So it tells us, brings the Iron Jaws into the mortal realms, and tells us a little bit about the orc tribes. So any of you greenskin players out there, I'm thinking Big Dan Mexkull there, my mate who done the not Mortal Realms, sorry, the Warhammer 40k Conquest series. Check him out, he's a cracking guy. Yeah, he's a big orc player. So a little shout out to you there, Dan, mate. And I've gone off on a tangent again. So we come back onto our next section, the battles. The Battle of Verdia this time, featuring the Maggotkin of Nurgle. Beyond the walls of Hammerhall Giray lie the green expanses of Verdia. So it looks like it's like a forest planet or a forest world. And yeah, there we go. There's the actual map of it. And it tells us a little bit about it. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it again because I think I've just absolutely murdered it first time round. Got some nice little artwork there. Hold thy shield high and strike with conviction. Then we go on to using our paints. Okay, so how to paint the Sigmarite Mausoleum. So it just showed us what we're going to basically do with the Dryad Bark. And we're going to apply the Lead Belcher onto the railings and little bits like that. Giving you a little example there. It says gather your terrain. Right, your painted Sigmarite Mausoleum. So that's what they're telling us up to now it should actually look like. Yeah, so it's looking good, to be honest. I do like the bit of brown on it there as well. It does have that little bit of effect. Just breaks up the black and the white, you know, doing the grey and the white dry brushing and stuff. In the domain of death. Throughout the barrows, tombs and catacombs of the dank graveyard, Stormcast Eternals battle undead spirits for control of long-lost secrets. Right, so yeah, this is our battle report by the look of it, guys. So we go on to our usual reference sheet. There we go, there's a new phase, the Battle Shock phase. So it's given us the full lot now. Hero, movement, shooting, charge, combat and Battle Shock. So just reminding us about wounds, how to attack, and the new War Scroll profile. Okay, which now includes the last part, which is bravery, which is going to be, that's your number. So you basically roll 2 dice, 2d6. So you roll for 12, and I think you have to, yeah, I think it's rolled below the 7. Yeah, I think it is. I think you have, like, say that'll be your 7, and then, like, say if you lost 2 models, that'll be 8, that'll be 9. So yeah, I think you've got to roll below it. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, it's been a long time since I've actually played, guys, so please excuse me for that there. So we just got our War Scrolls, so the Secretors and the Chain Rasp Hordes, and then our usual where it tells us to go through Stormcast turn 1. There's the Battle Shock there. Yeah. Choose a unit that's lost models, roll a dice, add 1 to the result for every slain model, check the unit's bravery characteristic, which is the 7 we've just seen. If the modified roll is greater than the unit's battle bravery characteristic, the battle shock test has been failed. If the battle shock roll is lower than the unit's bravery characteristic, the battle shock test is successful. So yeah, you're basically looking to roll under the battle shock number as well as the amount of models, and you'll be successful. Okay, so there we go. Well, it doesn't really explain. I think I just probably confused myself and everybody else more, but that's basically the rule. It's just a way to see if, like, your troops hang around, you know. How to remove models. Well, we know this. Nighthaunt, turn 1. Nighthaunt, turn 2. And then, oh, what's this now?
Now this is new. From issue 21, enter the realms of life. New models, more paints, and more exciting battle plans. So they're obviously now going to start using the new mat for all our games. So we're now going to see like more models, bigger games. Yeah, exciting times, folks. We're stepping out. We've had like there's 80 issues, so this is obviously going to be from issue 21. So yeah, it's going to be like sort of the second quarter of the subscription. Yeah, really exciting, really good stuff. Okay, so let's have a look what we have in issue 19. The Spirit Torment, the Knight of Shrouds, and the Guardian of Souls. So it looks like we've got 3 brand new Nighthaunt models. So I'm really looking forward to that already, guys. There's your shot of the front cover. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know down below if you're looking forward to the changes, what you think of the new rules. And I'll see you all in the next one.